Welcome, all my Pluto in the ninth house friends. You are my little truth extractors, wandering through life trying to find out what is our place in the universe. So stay tuned while we deep dive into what it's like to have this placement. Okay, so if you don't know where your Pluto is in your natal chart, then have no fear. Just head on over to astro.com, click on charts, and then extended charts. Type in your birth information, including your birth time, and then a nice, pretty little birth chart will appear that lets you know exactly which house your Pluto is in. Now, the house that your Pluto is in will tell you where in life your soul craves transformation, where there might possibly be some swings between extremes in your life, areas of life that you may obsess over. So what is Pluto? Well, Pluto represents the psyche. It's the planet that deals with things like transformation, obsession, manipulation, power, and control. It deals with extremes. Pluto is a small yet extremely powerful little planet. And what does the ninth house mean in astrology? Well, the ninth house represents higher learning, studying abroad, your beliefs. It can represent religion or philosophy and long distance travels. So what happens when you take the planet of transformation and put it in the ninth house of higher learning and your beliefs? Well, you get an individual who brings on experiences that help them determine what their individual life means in the grand scheme of things. Remember, Pluto is here to teach us things, and it does this by first stripping away our power from us at an early age, and then we are presented with experiences that help us build our foundation stronger. It is the planet that is farthest away from the sun, so it receives the least amount of light. So when dealing with Plutonic things in life, you may go through some dark moments, but you have a superpower to be able to transmute the darkness into light. So if you are someone with Pluto in your ninth house, then your beliefs are probably very deep and meaningful to you. So let's go back to your childhood. You may have come into this life with an already ingrained belief system, or it's possible that you have a belief system that was forced upon you when you were younger, and it was taught to you as the absolute truth. So you came into this life knowing exactly what you wanted to be and what you believed in, and you stuck with it, and then you saw it till the end, and you became that particular job. Or something happened on the other extreme, like if you were born into a family that practices Christianity, and your parents taught you that there was no other way to heaven except through Jesus, that he was the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him. They may have even took you to church on Sunday or put you in Sunday school or vacation Bible school. So when you were a child, this was seen as the only truth, the absolute truth. Or it's possible that someone's parents were political and was extremely for one party. So let's say someone's parents were staunch Republicans and they never swayed. The parent may have watched TV shows about politics or the news or had conversations about their beliefs with others. And growing up, these beliefs were expected for the child to carry on. However it manifests, someone who has Pluto in their ninth house are truth seekers. They want to know what is the truth. What kind of manipulation is going on behind the scenes? They can be obsessed with learning, especially learning something that they are deeply passionate about. So for example, they are the ones questioning what is the truth about religion? What is the truth with politics? They can spend hours trying to get to the bottom of things so that they can have this little unpolluted nugget of truth. They want to make sense of this life. Why are we here? What is the purpose? Why am I here? What is my purpose? How does the matrix work? Their soul has a deep desire to find the universal truth about life. Now, with this placement, they could have been raised in a culture where you don't question family things, or you have very, very little room to question things. But you will be faced with situations that make you question your belief, which can be a frustrating time for you because you may take your beliefs serious or be rigid in your beliefs. And having something that happens that shakes up this can make you feel out of place. But you are here to experience different cultures, different people, different situations that allow you to question your beliefs and get closer to your universal truth. For example, this might be a situation where someone is a homosexual and they grew up in a super religious family that told them that this was completely wrong. But their soul has this unquenchable thirst to question whether that's true or not. So they have to go through a journey and learn what is true for them. People with this placement may find that people close in their life, the people that they're closest to, turn their backs on them, especially if they start differing from their belief system. So for example, let's take the Amish, okay? They have a very rigid belief system, and if someone questions it and leaves, then they are excommunicated from the group. This is their whole family, everyone that they are close with. The family feels like the person is turning his or her back on them because they are changing beliefs. And the individual feels like their family is turning their back on them because they are putting a priority of their beliefs over the actual person. Now, I know that this is a bit of an extreme example, but this is really how Pluto in the 9th house can manifest. These people can feel betrayed by a previous religion or belief process. So for example, this may be someone whose religion believes in arranged marriages, and the parents choose someone for you to marry, but it's not who you want. So now what do? Do you stay in a marriage you hate because of the beliefs that you were indoctrinated with? Or do you divorce, which is completely taboo and goes against the beliefs that you were raised with? It's very possible that someone with Pluto in the 9th house to kind of feel like the black sheep of the family may feel like you don't belong, where you feel like you exist in this world and you go through life just to try to figure out where you belong and what your truth is and who you are. And traumatic events can happen so that you are able to learn more about yourself so you can answer that question. Now, I will say it is very possible for this person to become staunch in their beliefs as well. I mean, that's what you saw as a parent modeling for you, so you can grow up and be like this. It can go to an extreme with Pluto here, where the person with this placement, it's where they speak about their truths with passion, but it may come across to others as being domineering or superior. But these people can identify with their beliefs. And you know, Pluto is the planet of sacrifice. So these people have beliefs that are so meaningful to them that they would even sacrifice their life for the meaning behind the belief. When these people are stirred up about their beliefs, they may fight or defend them to other people. These are the people that may get into heated discussions online about political things or religious things. You know, the discussions where you grab your popcorn and you read the comments. If you strike a chord with someone with this placement, they can activate this passion within them to speak exactly how they feel on the topic. So these people may not care if you're the CEO, the mayor, or even the president. If you are going against what they believe in, then they feel like they must expose the truth to get you to understand. They can have issues with management at workplaces because they aren't afraid to speak up about what they believe in. Now, often these people feel misunderstood when people don't agree with them. After all, they have done hours and hours of research on something. How could you not believe the actual truth when they know it? These are not the people that blindly follow others, okay? They have to research things and to see if it checks out. They also learn a lot from traveling and experiencing other cultures. It can really change or shift their beliefs. This placement has the potential to influence a lot of people, okay? So if you have this placement, the way you deliver your knowledge will be really important when sharing what you know with others. You have the knowledge because you've done the research, but sharing it in a way where others do not feel attacked or forced will be key. You are just passionate in what you take as the truth, but sometimes others can see this passion as overbearing. Now, these people may mistrust people if their words do not meet their actions, okay? So especially when it comes to their beliefs, if you have this placement, you are able to expose lies, deceit, and even inconsistencies in narratives or beliefs of others. So you can spot a hypocrite a mile away. And they do not like to be lied to or misled because they are on a mission to find out life's more meaningful questions. These people may be extreme with their beliefs, okay? Remember, Pluto is the planet of extreme. So they will believe wholeheartedly one way, and then something traumatic can occur and they swing into believing the whole opposite way. So if you have read the Bible, then you will know what I'm talking about, okay? I always joke and say that Paul from the Bible probably had Pluto in the 9th house. He was always on a quest for higher knowledge and wisdom. He traveled through many nations, experiencing different cultures. And he was very adamant about his beliefs and would even die for them. And his beliefs changed over time from one extreme into another after a traumatic event happened in the Bible. He started off as Saul, who actually persecuted Christians, and then he experienced a traumatic event where he was made blind. And then he converted his beliefs over to actually becoming Paul, who went out and tried to convince other people to become Christian, the same people he was persecuting. People with this placement believe that your empowerment is related to your beliefs. Now, this placement isn't all about beliefs. It also deals with learning, and especially higher learning. So this can mean university or college. It can mean higher level astrology classes. It can mean studying abroad. These people can swing from extremes in education fields. They may be go from being passionate about learning and getting all A's to avoiding school and barely passing. They may suffer a wound regarding higher education, like maybe applying towards their dream college only to be turned down. And it makes them question everything. There can be times when this person is obsessed with learning, maybe even traveling and seeing the world and getting to explore other cultures. These people always try to find the ultimate truth in life, but what they really discover is that there are many truths in this life. These people, especially later on in life, may go on to becoming great teachers that inspire others on what your truth is. So, for an example, they may become a preacher, or if their passion is astrology, they may go on to teach astrologers. Or maybe your thing is science if you have this placement, you become a professor of science. These people's talents may become their religion. I said it at the beginning of the video. Some people come into this world knowing exactly what they want to do, and they are constantly learning their whole life. Like if someone was a child and loved dinosaurs, and they always said that they wanted to be a paleontologist, and they grow up and actually follow through and just travel the world and keep learning. They can pour hours and hours into whatever they are passionate about. If you have this placement, you could be passionate about your belief, and it can be contagious for others. You do have the power of influence with this placement, which can be used in a great way. Or it can be done in a manipulative way, like influencing others to their detriment. Wisdom is the apex of power to this placement, because just think about it. Wisdom can be applied to a lot of cases in survival mode. Ultimately, these souls have to find their place in the universe, wandering around, exploring, and experiencing different things as a way to gain insight and wisdom. Traveling can be really important to this placement, especially traveling abroad. This is the perfect way to test your current beliefs and see if they need any tweaking. Whatever talent you have with this placement, it will take you far in life if you allow it. You were meant to explore and to test new things. You're my little explorers of the universe. You know, the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, and I like to think of Sagittarius as the explorers of the universe. So this could be a placement of someone who let's say studies to be a doctor in their home country and then travels and does their residency abroad. Or it may be a doctor that goes out on mission trips around the world to share their talent. It could be an NBA player that travels overseas to get to play. You get my point. Experiencing different sets of beliefs could be beneficial to this placement. Also, you may have a need to travel to get back to yourself again. There's a lot of opportunity with this placement to purge old belief systems. Remember, Pluto is the farthest from the sun, so it takes the longest to make a complete rotation. It is a very slow-moving planet. So remember, this transformation can take a lifetime to complete. Someone with this placement may go through many death and rebirths when it comes to their beliefs. They may be religious, then they may become agnostic or become atheist, and then they may try different types of religions, maybe Christianity, then to Islam, or maybe different sects of the same religion, like Pentecostal to Baptist. You like to explore with your beliefs. You know, the 9th house deals with expansion. So it makes total sense that these people feel the urge to expand their beliefs. They can be extremely open-minded in their higher vibrations and extremely closed-minded in their lower vibrations. So Brad Pitt has his Pluto in the 9th house, and I just always find this so fascinating how people's Pluto plays out in their lives. Okay, so get this. I read an article on people.com, and in it, he is quoted as saying, "I defined my beliefs and lived according to them." Can you believe it? You can see how his Pluto in the 9th took him on a journey where he had to develop his own belief system in which he follows. Okay, it gets more interesting. He was born into a conservative Baptist family, and he went to revivals, and he began to question the authenticity because he said he felt the same fervor, as he called it, at a rock concert as he did at a religious revival, and it made him begin to question, like, what is the real truth? Now, at one point, he becomes agnostic and then atheist, and then he comes back to religion. So Brad naturally has tried experiencing all types of philosophies. I thought it was interesting that he said that he has always questioned religion. It's almost like someone with this soul can't help but question some things. Megan Fox has this placement. She was born into a very strict Pentecostal household. She ended up going to a Catholic school, and at one point she started studying astrology and reading tarot cards. She would even do new moon rituals. In a recent interview, she stated that she was a part of Christ consciousness, but she doesn't necessarily identify with a church. So you can see how Pluto in the 9th has played out as she has experienced all kinds of philosophical things in life. Billie Eilish also has Pluto in the 9th house. She has identified herself as once a super religious person. She said her family wasn't religious. No one she knew was religious, but as a little kid, she was just naturally super religious. This is what I'm talking about with Pluto in the 9th house. They may have come into this life with lifetimes of a certain belief, and they come in still holding that belief. And it makes no sense because they aren't being influenced by their outside environment. It's just they naturally experience things like this. Then she said one day she just snapped out of it and went the total opposite way, almost becoming anti-religious. Do you see how Pluto works in extremes here, from one extreme to another? She said in the interview that doing this, going from one extreme to another, caused her to be way more understanding and having an open mind about others' beliefs. Y'all, I can't even make this stuff up. So if you have this placement, how have you noticed it playing out in your life? Let me know in the comments below. I put out videos every Sunday, and right now we are doing a series of Pluto through the houses. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Mwah.